So someone tell me what today's prompt is. It started out as kind of like a joke, like I don't know what the prompts are, but now I kind of feel like it's cool because I am not looking at the prompts anymore. I'm having you tell me them, and then I'm just, speaking to that prompt in addition, of course, to my planned word of the day. And then if I paint, I don't have a lot of like preloaded thoughts or ideas about what I paint. So I think that's actually really helpful for you. Let me know if you agree. Just say yes. So it's Dusty. Oh dear Lord. Okay, Dusty. My name is Christy Rice. I am obsessed with watercolor. And I'm even maybe more obsessed with chasing joy through watercolor. And at the time of recording these lives, it was World Watercolor Month. And there's a daily prompt. And a lot of folks like me get a little stressed out at times with these type of challenges. They're very intense. And keeping up with a daily painting regimen is difficult. And so I've been giving daily pep talks. So you can head into the description and see the playlist if you want to rewatch through all of them. You can. My brain is dusty, says Wildflower. I'm right here with you. Y'all, I was just telling my husband the brain fog, the hot flashes have stopped. Also, we talk about personal things here too. Okay. The flashes have stopped, but the brain fog is out of control. And my brain is a dusty right there with you, Wildflower. Okay. Okay. Yeah, Dusty Miller, I love that. Shout out your ideas if you've already painted today. The brain fog is seriously no joke. Like the other day, I was tasking, and one of the things I was doing was making eggs for my kiddos. And my husband came up to me. I was in the garage, and he's like, "Hey, are you aware that there's eggs on the stove and that you're not there?" And I was like, crap, because I'd forgotten. So yeah. So anyway, so Dusty is the official World Watercolor Month prompt. Thank you, Ashy. I feel much better that I am not alone in my forgetfulness. So my phrase, word, whatever for the day is cut it out. And I really need y'all to cut it out in two ways. Cut out the stress of all this, cut out the self-loathing, probably most importantly. You don't feel like painting. It's not a day where you're getting off the couch or out of bed. It's just not flowing for you, not feeling the prompts. I don't want you to beat yourself up. Okay. So cut that out. But in all seriousness, we're going to do today's prompt. This is another strategy for a less than fully inspired day that you might be having. We're going to go ahead and use the concept of cut it out to build our prompt page. So I'm grabbing my sketchbook here. We're going to go right down to the painting table and see what we can make of it. This was my sketch at the library auction. If y'all followed along with me on Instagram recently at the time of recording this or near the time, we have a local library auction that 100% supports our library, our local library. And it's just a tradition I've been involved in since I was a little girl. And so we went this past week and I did some sketching there. And I actually, my beloved art teacher, she paints it. This started I think decades ago, probably 30 years ago. She would paint at the auction live on plein air, and then she would auction off the painting the last night of the auction, and all of the proceeds would go to the auction. And so over the years, none of us are getting younger, right? Over the years, she would bring in students to work on paintings. Sometimes they would auction off those paintings separately and all the things. But this year, and I'm pulling up my Facebook because I want to show you a little bit about this. This is just a fun, inspiring story. And you know what? Why not? So This is my art teacher. And this is the painting this year. And I fell in love with it. It was a triptych. Some are students. This RJ here, he's a grown up, but he helps out Sue a lot. And then there's me. And I'm in that picture because I decided that it was finally high time that I actually own one of these paintings and pieces of history. And um, she's mine. She's all mine, actually. So, do y'all want to see the painting? I could bring it in here and show you. I know. I love our local library. Yes. So, it was a triptych this year, and what they did is it was as if you were watching the auction taking place through partially opened empty bookshelves. So let me go grab the painting. But you could go follow this page. It's Sue Hand's Imagery. And it's the school I attended growing up, private. And you can see, like, this was them painting all throughout the week. Sue worked on parts, the students worked on parts. Just a really cool tradition that I am just like absolutely honored to be part of. Like, look at this. Isn't this great? Let me pull this up. I want you to see. Yeah. Come on. There we go. There they are painting. Yay. So fun. This is early on, just really barely an underpainting there. This was done in acrylic. And it was cute. I went in the one night and I had fallen in love with this thing. I fell in love with it. I saw some of the books that were on there. And I said, "Are you going to add Anna Green Gables?" Because we had been talking about Anna Green Gables and my nails. And I got a text the next day that said, "Look what we did." So anyway, let me go get the paintings and I'll show you. All right. How am I going to show this? Okay. So maybe I can use my chair for the middle. I don't know. Let's see. So I was very excited. Number one, like, I can't think of a better, we're going to have to do this one at a time. Can't think of a better way of giving back to the community. But here's the middle. And so some of the books are fictional, just cute little things. Some of the books, obviously, Lighthouses of America, super cool. And that means so much to me because Sue would always take like a yearly trip to Maine and paint. The collection of Beatrix Potter is in here, which just, I'm such a Beatrix Potter fan. So when I saw that first, and I was like, oh my gosh. Saving Chopin was by a local author. The Times Leader is our local newspaper. So that was cool. Growing up in coal country, because this is coal country. Lots of coal miners, lots of, yeah. And then I saw this. I was like, oh, so cute. So this is left or right, I'm not sure which. The Battle of Wyoming. So the book on that. So just a lot of local Luzerne County. History of Still Lives, Pride and Prejudice, Black Beauty. And then I saw The Great Gatsby, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's getting better and better. And Narnia, and Macbeth, and all that. And then I saw, and I missed this one. Sorry, hold on. I got to tell you the story behind this one. So after I saw Beatrix Potter, I saw this book, A Dog Named Jamie. And this is a book that my art teacher wrote, and it was a love story of between her and her dog, and the dog is named after Jamie Wyeth, Andrew Wyeth's son. And when I saw Beatrix Potter and A Dog Named Jamie, my heart just absolutely melted. But then I saw Robert Henri, The Art Spirit, which is a book that I have gone back to again and again and again for inspiration for the writing of my own books. And then I just kept finding all these, like The Hobbit. My husband loves Tolkien. And I mean, Heidi, Mark Twain, probably The Crucible. And then I got the text earlier in the evening on Sunday, and look what they added. My art teacher texted me. She's like, "Look what we added," and I was like, "I'll be there." She's like, "It's auctioning off at 8:30," and I'm like, "See you later." Yeah, 1984. Yeah, isn't it cool? So if you happen to follow Sue Hand's page, just say hey, send her a message, just so she knows how awesome she is and how much I love her. And I start crying. Because honestly, never in my life. Wow, I did not expect to go here today. I grew up well taken care of. Blue collar family, though, friends. Like, I did not grow up like this. This life that I live is not how I grew up. And never did I dream that I'd be able to invest in a piece of art like this, and support the community. And so, and then to also have a painting of the auction. Like, I remember as a little girl, I'm talking like 11, 12. I remember when I first saw what Sue was doing, and then you would hear, how much the pieces would auction for. And I remember sitting in my desk in the studio in the imagery and hearing, like, oh my gosh, it was just such a big deal and so exciting, like how these doctors and lawyers, I thought, must be affording these paintings. And so it's not about that. It's like a full circle moment. And I am living a praise the Lord life. It's not perfect, but it's incredible, and I'm very blessed. And we all have our struggles, but man, sorry. Yeah, just a lot of connections in that piece. Yes. And y'all, this is what art does for people. Your art too. It makes connections. And every time you put brush to paper, I want you to remember that. I don't want you to remember the failures. I want you to remember the connections that your work has made in the past, and look forward to the ones that it will make in the future. I hear so many folks telling me, I want to paint this for my friend. It's a gift. I paint these and I hand them out randomly. That is what we're here for. That is where the joy lies. And that is the that's the crux of it. That's the heart and soul of watercolor, is the ability it has to connect people. Yes, please cut it out. Please cut out being unkind to yourself, because it's stupid. You never know when I'm going to cry. Anywho. All right, friends. So back down to the painting table. Thank you so much for listening to me just blubber on about my strange life. And yeah. Whew, I can't stop crying. Happy tears. And you know what, the other thing? My husband loved it too. He loved the painting, and that made it just even more exciting. So it wasn't just about me. So, anywho, you got the story behind that. All right, so Dusty. So today's strategy, if you're stuck, is to cut up some old artwork. That is my thinking. I want you to cut up some old artwork. So I've grabbed just a random piece of something, and I'm going to grab me some skizzles. I need some little baby skizzles. So if you're stuck, oh, Wildflower, I love that dusty pink. I'm stealing that. Can I steal that? I'm stealing it. Now we're all in our feels. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I'm stealing it. Okay, so I'm gonna start cutting some stuff out. And I'm going to steal the dusty pink idea. Actually, these are too small. Go figure. I am going to use the big ones. They don't feel right. That don't feel right. And, you know, a little collage, a little unplanned collage never hurt no one. Never hurt no one. I don't know what I was doing on this page. I vaguely remember doing it. I mean, look how beautiful that is. There's a lot of artists doing cutouts that I think it's just so delightful. Let me adjust the camera for heaven's sake. All right, we're cutting out. You know, I just have to say something that's weighing on my heart, and I hope I wasn't offensive when I said I had a blue collar upbringing. That was just my understanding. You know, my parents, my dad didn't go to college. He worked in a jewelry store. He was a stock manager. Like that's what I just meant. Like my mom was a nurse. You know, they didn't bring home the big bucks, I guess is what I was trying to say. Like maybe my ignorance is showing. So I apologize if that statement offended anyone. That wasn't my intention. Um, but it is a word my parents used all the time growing up. We had relatives that were in a much different bracket, if you know what I mean, that actually like helped my parents out and left them money at different times in their life. And they always use that word too. So I think maybe that's just, yeah. Okay, good. I hope not. But yeah, that was just weighing on me to mention that. I like to be very careful with my words, and sometimes I'm not. So anywho, if it's your first time here, this is very typical of me. So don't be scared away. All right. I might use the greens. I don't know. Yeah, they did. They used that word. Yeah. I mean, about themselves. So I don't know. I love this pink. Now I'm thinking like, what dusty pink? I'm just going to use this palette that's in front of me. I'm not going to get fancy. Although I kind of want to get fancy. I have something in mind. Oh, where is it? I don't know. Doesn't matter. Don't get fancy. Just do the thing. Why do I not have the pens I want or like within arm's reach? Shame on me. Here I am just digging for gold. All right. And our word is dusty. And remember, I am purposely marking these pages, marking them up. I want to make it so the work in here, even if it's something I fall in love with, it's not something I'm going to sell. This is just for me. So I am purposely making these pages in ways unsellable. I'm not trying to make, masterpieces here. I'm just trying to enjoy an experience. So this is a way I can do it and force myself to do it. All right. So I'm just grabbing whatever brush. Ooh, that one is not clean. Also, this plant is kind of dusty and she's kind of on her way out. She's not doing well in the water. She's definitely getting dusty, crusty, right? All right. I'm just going to mix on the page and get some dusty whatever happens using my dagger. Just laying down some strokes. I might get a little bit of a brighter pink, but eventually I'm going to get this all blended a bit. Oh, that's pretty. This is my Art for Joy's Sake palette so far that I've been working with. Isn't that pretty? And then I'm going to get my ATG gun and start adding some stuff. I don't have a plan, Stan. I do not have a plan. And that is a beautiful thing. look like waves. Just like that, the curve of those cutouts. And I want to kind of repeat it. I can use the peach too. That'll feel dusty, right? So what have you all done? If you've done the prompt today, what did you do? Have y'all been seeing Diane Zimmerman in Watercolorland? I've really appreciated, she owns that big group, Watercolor Beginners and Beyond, but she has been in my group posting almost daily and just sharing the coolest artwork with us. And she's been doing the prompts, and I love her interpretation so much. So I wanted to know if anybody else saw those. I don't know why I'm back here with the hearts, but I am, and I don't care. I like it. I don't know if it's dusty. I don't know if I care. What am I doing? So friends, I think cut it out is a fun way to pull yourself out of the dusty doldrums. Ha ha ha. Did you see that? How I did that? Yeah. Maybe I'm going to make a dust cloud. One thing too, friends, that I've noticed with myself and prompts is I tend to go pretty abstract. It feels very comfortable to go more abstract. It feels better in my soul. It's easier to be more forgiving of yourself. I feel like, at least in my experience, to go a little abstract or a lot abstract leaves a lot of room for interpretation. So I'm going to use my color sparks, I think. But they don't have pink. So we're going to have to make this work. All right, this is Color Sparks. They come in a little like squeeze bottle, but you don't want to squeeze because good heavens, now those are working. Okay. Ooh, now if I added brown maybe over top or green, maybe a little green. Why is this lid not going on? You're inside my head right now. I apologize. You're literally witnessing the inside of my head because I'm not even looking at comments right now. You can't, I'm squeezing it now. It really brings out a nice fine powder. And I kind of want the red and the green to mix. And they are. It's fun. Look how fun. That's fun. And then I'm going to spatter some like Payne's grayish type of situation. That's pretty down there. Dusty, crusty. Ooh, I can't wait to see that dry. Sorry, y'all. I haven't looked at comments. I'm like really in it. I'm really in it. And I don't know why, because I'm not super excited about this painting, but at the same time, I am super excited about the painting of it. Let me say that again. I'm not really excited about this painting and the way it looks, but I'm really feeling the painting of it. Like the act of painting is feeling very good. So I'm definitely in the zone. So maybe that's an epiphany for somebody here, like that there is hope for you. If you've never felt this feeling before where like the painting is like meh, but you're like having a freaking blast. If you have not felt that feeling before, maybe you didn't realize it was even possible. Maybe you didn't realize that they can be exclusive feelings, and they indeed can. So know that that is coming your way, hopefully soon, that you're going to have a moment like that. Now do I want to blot? I think I want to blot some of it. No, I think I want to blot all of it. Oh yeah, I like the blot. Okay. And then maybe a little down here. I'm going to look up at comments really soon. I highly, highly recommend the Color Sparks. I just love the way they dispense. So, you know, it's TCW stencils, and they are available on Amazon. All right, I'm gonna look up finally. Whew. Yeah, the lift was cool on that, right? Very cool. I jumped in the flow. That's right. I absolutely jumped in the flow. Yeah, Dusty Crusty. Yeah. All right, friends. So there it is today. Try the cut it out method, both interpretations of the cut it out method. And yeah, just get painting, enjoy this month, try to find your flow, and know that if you haven't experienced this kind of flow with a kind of ugly painting, that it's coming. It's coming your way. You can paint ugly and still enjoy the process. All right, friends, I will see you tomorrow. Happy painting.